Critical weapons failure.
Shuri, the last cargo ship is almost at the border, but they got me trapped with some kind of cables.
I connect with the arms!
Sonic overload initiated.
Now break it!
What's up everyone, my name is Max and today we'll be taking a look at the 76186, the Black Panther Dragon Flyer. This week, or at the end of last week, they dropped the first teaser for Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever. It looks absolutely stunning. I'm a sucker for movies with a lot of water action, so this is right up my alley, just like Avatar 2. But big part of the movie will also take place in Wakanda, and we've already seen the Dragon Flyer in the trailer, so today I'll be reviewing the set and tell you at the end whether it's worth buying it before the movie releases. But before we start, remember to hit the like and subscribe button, and please excuse my poor English. I'm no native speaker. So, let's start with the set's basic information. It released in June of 2021, so just a little over a year ago, and is still in production. That means you can still get it in Lego and other retail stores. The original retail price was $20, €20 or £18 depending on where you live. If we were to adjust that for inflation, $20 a year ago would now be around $21.50, which might not seem like a lot, but that's still an increase of almost 8%. It included a total of 202 pieces, including 3 minifigures, with only a single one of them being exclusive, but even that's only until October. The designer of this set was Max Stafford, who's been designing Lego sets for almost 15 years now. In that time he's worked on themes like Chima, Alien Conquest and even Exoforce. More recently though, he's done sets like the Jurassic Park T-Rex Rampage or the D2C Daily Bugle. As you can see, I actually have the box this time, so I can say a little more about that as well. Obviously it's part of the Infinity Saga line and based off Avengers Endgame, which is why there's a portal in the background and also why there's a tutorial included. On the left there's a bunch of snippets from the movies in Lego form, and when we turn the box around it shows some of the set's features. I honestly really like this box art style, and I'm so glad that they started using it more consistently with the Multiverse of Madness and Thor Love and Thunder sets. Now that we got all that covered though, let's get into further details, starting with this set's minifigures.
This is it for you, cousin.
The first figure for today is Black Panther, more specifically T'Challa. This is his endgame version, although it perfectly works as a solo movie variant as well, since he wears the same suit in both of those movies. Obviously there was a minifigure for a solo movie as well, but that one used blue for all the kinetic energy, while this one uses purple, which is much more accurate. Sadly, like every other variant, he doesn't have any lag printing, which would have really improved this already very detailed figure. The torso though looks fantastic, with all the purple markings showing that his suit is fully loaded. Up here you can also spot the necklace his whole suit emerges from, which continues onto the back as well. I actually have to say that I like the back more than the front, just because there isn't as much purple on here. Instead you have a lot more black and silver. His mask looks quite good, and I'm very happy that they didn't include eye holes, since I always think those look quite weird. We have some more printing on the back of the head, and I would have wished that the earpiece wouldn't have been left unprinted. They've already done it on the 2016 Civil War Black Panther, but I think this figure would have really benefited from it, since these plain black parts kinda stand out on a very detail heavy figure. The next minifigure we'll look at is Shuri. This again works as an endgame as well as Black Panther version and was exclusive when it originally released, but there will be an even cheaper way of getting this figure in October, that being Shuri's Lab, retailing for $10. Anyways, this figure is quite cool, although inaccurate in a lot of places. First up, she doesn't have lag printing, even though there's a bunch of stuff you could have printed on there, one of them being the skirt, which you can see on the bottom of the torso as well. Her torso's got the little black spaces on the side to emulate her being thinner again, and overall it does look quite good, except for the neck chest armor up here. Not that it doesn't look good, just it shouldn't have been blue. In the movie it's purple as well, and I think the figure would have profited from a wider color palette, but in the end it's not as annoying as with the 2018 Black Panther. She's got some back printing as well, and her face looks really good with the white marks and the extension of her suit up to her chin. She actually didn't wear this in Endgame, just in Black Panther, but it's so minor that it doesn't distract from anything. The hair looks really good as well, even though her hair has another color in the movie. Lego doesn't have anything close to that, so black works fine.
Smash.
And the last figure for today is a Chitauri. This version of them is far better than the one before. I think the choice of going with dark grey as a base color instead of light grey was a good decision, even though we are missing leg printing again. The torso looks really good though, with the dark hair yellow, the dark and light grey working very well together, and even on the back we have some more very nice printing. The head shows them unmasked. I really like that the face is light grey, separated from the dark grey through the almost chrome gold. The decision of going with green for the eye color is a good one in my opinion, since it's accurate to the movie and it goes well with the gold and darker yellow on the torso. There's some more printing on the back of the head, and since this wraps up the minifigure part of the section, let's move on to the actual build. And here we have the actual build. It's got a decent size. It's not too big, but appropriate for a $20 build. If we start at the back, you can see these two flaps attached to the main body by these blue pieces. There's a bunch of strong blue in here and it kinda disrupts the color scheme of a darker and trans blue pieces, and I honestly have no idea why they did that instead of just sticking with black and such. Anyways, if we move up the back, there's some stickering like whatever the fuck this is supposed to be, or these vents at either side. On each side of the Dragon Flyer, there's this line of trans blue slow pieces. In the movie, these are the things that let the ship hover in its second mode, which I'll show you in a minute. Below the hover thingies, we have 3 of the Urukai swords, which is accurate to the movie, I guess. They don't really look like whatever they're supposed to be in the movie, but you can move them up and down for your display or if you want to play with them. Then of course we also have to talk about the wings. There's 4 of them, just like on the in-universe model, and they're attached to the main body via these joints, which make them able to rotate 360 degrees and adjustable for the other mode. In front we of course have the cockpit. On each side we have some stud shooters. They don't look too bad here since they fit in with the rest of the colors and even bring somewhat trans blue into it. In my opinion, the whole head is a bit too square and should be rounder, but I get that making an entirely new piece for a $20 set wouldn't have made any sense. The windshield itself is a printed piece, no stickers, which I'm very thankful for. If we take off the windshield, you can see that there's more than enough space for a minifigure to fit in. You'll also be able to spot a control panel on each side of the seat. Those are stickers, they are not prints. Otherwise, the interior is mostly blue, which isn't that annoying since you really can't see most of it through the tainted windshield piece. It's gonna be kinda bothering though when I put this whole thing in hovering mode, because in the movies this thing can hover and it does this by moving its body into a vertical position while the head stays where it is. As you can see, they were able to include that feature here as well. The cockpit is attached to the body by this hinge here, and when it's in flying position, it's held in place by this clip on the back. And here you see what I meant when I said that it was gonna be bothering in this mode, because now all of this blue is very exposed. I don't really get why they didn't just make it black. I guess just don't look at it from the back in this position. Something they did have to do for this position to look good though is make the underside look decent, which they thankfully did. And that was pretty much everything I have to say about this model, so let's wrap up the review and get onto the final verdict. So, what do I think of the set, and is it worth buying before Black Panther 2? I think it's a decent set, and yes, you should absolutely get this before Wakanda Forever. The set definitely has some flaws, be it the weirdly shaped head, the inclusion of too many normal blue bricks, or overall the too light color. But there's still a lot of positives. You get 3 pretty good figures for $20, and since it's still in production, you only have to pay $20 and not double or god forbid triple of the original price. It'll also go well with all the other Wakanda based sets like the Rhino Face Off, the Royal Talon Fighter, or Shuri Sunbird, which will release in October. Overall, I'd give this set a 7.5 out of 10 with a buying recommendation. That's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more of me, go check out my Shorts channel where I upload every other day, and until next week, goodbye.